Well, since the Cincinnati Bengals are pretty much out of the NFL playoff hunt at this point, we're going to start talking drafts here on Bengals Breakdown. 2 mock drafts had the Bengals picking in the first round here. One from Pro Football Focus's Trevor Sikkema, and then the other one from ESPN's Field Yates. So we're going to break down those first round picks here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Before we get into their picks, though, I want to know from you guys down inside the comment section. Who is your dream draft pick this season for the Cincinnati Bengals? It could be anybody that you want out there. Pretend that you're picking at number 1. If you got any opportunity, who is your dream draft pick? Let me know down below. All right, first up, let's get into the Pro Football Focus mock draft here from Trevor Sikkema. There was a trade at number 1. The Rams trade up with the New York Giants, getting Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. Dante goes number 2 to the Raiders. Arvell Reese going number 3 overall to the Tennessee Titans. Number 4 is Jordan Tyson going to the Browns. Number 5, Reuben Bain Jr., edge rusher out of Miami, going to the New Orleans Saints. Number 6, Cassius Howell, edge rusher out of Texas A&M, going to the Commanders. Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC, going to the Jets. Number 8 is Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle out of Miami. Number 9 is Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. That was with that Rams-Giants trade. The Giants now down at number 9. And with the Bengals picking at number 10, they're going to go with defensive tackle here out of Clemson, Peter Woods. Peter Woods is the number 13 overall player ranked on Mel Kiper's 2026 big board rankings right now. You know, he was also a first-team All-ACC selection this year, had 30 tackles, 3.5 TFLs, and a couple sacks as well. We'll get into my thoughts here in just a second, but this was the rationale behind the pick from Trevor Sikkema of Pro Football Focus, saying the Bengals have drafted a defensive lineman in the top 50 in each of their last 3 drafts, yet they still need more impact along the front. Woods didn't deliver the season his potential suggests, but his ceiling remains very high. Safety Caleb Downs could also be a possibility here, depending on how Cincinnati views first-round value at that position. Before we get into that, though, if Caleb Downs is still on the board here, who would you rather have? Let me know. Who would you pick at the number 10 spot here? Type P for Peter Woods or type C for Caleb Downs down inside the comments section of today's show. It's an interesting pick to me, picking a interior defensive lineman here, because you have guys, under contract at least through 2026, but the majority of your interior guys through 2027. Jordan Jefferson, McKinley Jackson, Chris Jenkins Jr., B.J. Hill, all those guys are locked up through 2027. So it's a very interesting selection, if you could say that, to go with Peter Woods with the number 10 overall pick here. Trevor Sikkema said there, he did not necessarily have, the best year, what you would have expected here from Peter Woods, with only 30 tackles, only a couple TFLs. But, I don't really know what he was last year weight-wise, but when I just look at photos and when I look at Peter Woods on the field, it looks to me like he's dropped a little bit of weight. I'd like to be him to be a little bit bigger there, but I do think where he's at right now probably does fit this, system of this Al Golden defense right here. So while I think there's probably, more important positions that you could go after here in the first round, I wouldn't scoff at Peter Woods. It would be an okay pick, but it, definitely wouldn't blow me away if they end up picking him there at number 10. We'll come back with the ESPN mock draft here in just a second, but first, we want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's show, Omaha Steaks. From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Just like myself, you guys can gift family and friends USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and so much more. And now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. They have a ton of different bundles that you guys can choose from. They have beef, they have chicken, they have pork chops, they have those caramel apple tartlets. They've got a couple different types of sides in some of those bundles as well that you guys can choose from. They got just incredible deals going on right now and a lot of quality meat at omahasteaks.com right now. It's a perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand cut by master butchers in America's heartland. So save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. And visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Bengals at checkout. Terms do apply. And you can see that website for extra details, but it's omahasteaks.com, promo code Bengals. We appreciate Omaha Steaks for being the sponsor of today's show. Make sure you get a bundle for your family members during the holiday season. All right, let's go over to the ESPN mock draft here from Field Yates. First 5 pick, Fernando Mendoza. There's another trade in this one, by the way, folks. The New York Jets trading up to number 1 with the New York Giants, getting Fernando Mendoza number 1. Every mock draft I see, for the most part at this point, is either Fernando Mendoza or Arvell Reese. I would expect one of those two guys are going to end up going number 1 there. Dante Moore going number 2 to the Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see if Dante Moore ends up even declaring for the NFL draft here, or is he going to end up going back to Oregon there? Arvell Reese going number 3 overall to the Tennessee Titans. Carnell Tate going to the Browns at number 4. Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle out of Miami, going number 5 to the Saints. David Bailey, a different edge rusher here out of Texas Tech, going to the Commanders at number 6. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State, with that trade there with the Giants and the Jets. The Giants get him there at number 7. Number 8 is Spencer Fanu, offensive tackle out of Utah, going to the Cardinals. Damn, Caleb Downs right there, going number 9 to the Rams. By the way, that pick is via the trade with the Falcons. So the Bengals at number 10 in this ESPN mock draft go with Reuben Bain Jr., edge rusher out of Miami. I do think this would be a solid replacement for Trey Hendrickson if they do elect to move on from Trey Hendrickson. He's out for the rest of the season this year, and we'll see if they end up bringing him back, if they tag him, if they tag and trade him, or if both of those parties just part ways at the end of the day there. But Reuben Bain Jr. is a dog. I would not scoff at this pick at all. He's an edge rusher who has actually put up production in college football. Last year, he did get a little bit hurt and a little bit banged up, but man, this is a really, really solid selection here with Reuben Bain Jr. Still, I wonder if edge rusher, Joseph Ossai is going to be a free agent after the season. We'll see what the future holds here for Trey Hendrickson, but we'll see if the Bengals go edge rusher or if they elect to, try to, figure out something in the back end there at that secondary spot. So what do you guys think? Should the Bengals draft an edge rusher in round 1? Type Y for yes or N for no down in the comments section of today's show. All right, this was the rationale here from Field Yates of ESPN on the Reuben Bain Jr. pick. Saying Trey Hendrickson and Joseph Ossai, by the way, Joseph Ossai leading the Bengals right now in sacks, are scheduled to be free agents. The Bengals tried to prepare for this future by taking Shamar Stewart in the first round this year, but he has been a non-factor this year. He's only played 5 games this year for the Bengals so far. Cincinnati really needs to look at the defense again. The Bengals are allowing 6.3 yards per play. That, by the way, is the worst in the NFL. While some scouts think that Bain's lack of length could make him a late first-round pick, all of them agree he's one of the best prospects at his position. I like him in Cincinnati. His relentless power and explosive traits helped him win a ACC Defensive Player of the Year honors this season. Expect more debate around Reuben Bain Jr. and his ceiling in the coming months, but no offense had a real answer for him at the collegiate level. Man, I just couldn't get that last part out there. But still, Reuben Bain Jr. was a solid player past couple of years here for Miami. I will say this, though, about the Bengals in the NFL draft. They always find a way to screw it up, don't they? I think that they, if they go edge rusher, there are a few prospects that really, are solid out there. I think Arvell Reese probably isn't going to get to wherever you're going to end up being there. Reuben Bain Jr. could end up falling to you. You saw that right there in that ESPN mock draft. I really do like David Bailey out of Texas Tech. I think he's a fun prospect. But, man, if Caleb Downs is on the board, You absolutely have to take him. If you think that a good safety is overrated in the top 10, then you just flat out haven't watched these Bengals safeties over the past 2 years. It is not a luxury pick for the Bengals if you are in desperate need right now at that safety position.